I was just thinking about the truck driving series that I'm intending on doing next week, and I just want to go ahead and tell you guys what my experience is with truck driving. So I guess we'll start from the beginning. I've worked for at least 3 companies, and I've been to only one truck driving school. Now, believe it or not, when I went to the truck driving school, I had barely, I've really barely driven any vehicles, really. Let's see. I wrecked my mom's minivan when I was 20, I want to say. Either 20 or 21. That was not very fun, by the way. That was really the only other accident that I've been in, except for the more recent accident where a lady in a Toyota bumped me on the passenger's rear tire with luckily barely, actually no, there was no damage to the truck. So yeah. Anyways, so I got my driver's license right after I got out of high school. I was 20 when I finally got my license. Mainly because I didn't want to get my license until I got out of high school, because getting through high school is my number one priority. Now, it might be different for some other people. Parents will sometimes either push the kids to get a license and then buy their first vehicle and then be on their way, or let the kids figure this out and let the kids buy their own car, kind of like what I'm doing, and take your time. Now, my parents didn't really push me to get my license because, like I said, I wanted to wait until I got done with high school, because high school is my number one priority. So, I just did what I did. In a way, I'm fairly proud that I waited so long. I don't know. In a way, I really wished I got my license at 17. That way, I could have either gotten my own vehicle and driven me and my little brother to school when he was a freshman, at least. When I was a senior, I think it would have been much smoother for me to actually get actual driving experience in, even at a young age. Because I don't know, I didn't really learn how to drive until I was around 13 years old. And that was just an on and off thing with my grandpa, my dad, and this was way before my grandma and grandpa moved down to Georgia. And this was I want to say, because it also happened before I moved down from Indiana to Georgia, where my grandpa would let me learn how to drive with his old Ford. I can't remember what kind of a truck it was, but it was like an old Ford truck. I liked that truck. It was pretty nice. And that's pretty much how I learned how to drive. And I didn't really get much more knowledge on how to drive until I was 16. Drove the minivan around. Got my permit when I was 16. And like I said, I got my license when I was 20. So I went to trucking school in about 3 years ago, last month. No, I got my CDL 3 years ago last month. I went to trucking school in February of 2014. And I didn't get out until this month, actually. I didn't get out of the trucking school until sometime this month. And it was right on time for E3, by the way. So, at least I got to enjoy a little bit of E3 that year. When, or I should say after I got home from truck driving school. And that was after I failed the driving test to get into the company. I already got my CDL at that time. So now I needed to wait 3 more months. At that point, I had already gotten with another company that had agreed to train me. And we told Celadon about it. And then after the 3rd month passed, they started harassing me about paying my dues from the truck driving school. So that's pretty much when that fiasco happened. The company that took me in as a trainee was Roadtech, or Roadtex. And to this day, I wouldn't recommend Roadtex to anybody, to be honest. The staff was nice enough, but the drivers that were training me were pretty much assholes, and I'm pretty sure one of them was racist against me. So, whatever. But anyways, when I was with Roadtex, that was when I got my actual real world experience being a truck driver. You know, I learned how to use paper logs. I learned pretty much how to operate pretty much everything I need to know how to operate. I learned how to do a proper pre-trip with Roadtex. Almost half of everything that I know today is because of my experience with Roadtex. So I went back to Celadon after I got back with my second trainer. That was around, I want to say, September. No. October. It was around October. And I went back up to Indiana to try to get in this, to Celadon again. This time I passed their dumbass little truck or driving test on my second try. the first guy failed me because I didn't go when he wanted to go. I was being safe, so I went when I felt like I was going to win, so I went when I felt like I was going to go. You know, being safe, pretty much what I was taught at Rotex. All of my mistakes pretty much happened when I was driving for Rotex. And then after my second trainer from Rotex pretty much ironed it all out, even though he may have been half racist to me, he was still a decent trainer. Both of them were really decent trainers. But I didn't really get any good backing experience until I met my third trainer, Daniel. Now, after I completed the driving test from Celadon, they gave me an option to either join Celadon or Osborne. Now, at the beginning, I wasn't allowed to have this option, but because they brought me back as a what do you call it? As a partial experienced, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. They gave me the option for Osborne, and to this day, I'm very, very glad that they gave me that option, or else I would have never met Daniel. Daniel was probably the coolest trainer I've ever met. And the one thing that Daniel did that no other than any of my other trainers did was that Daniel actually let me experience doing everything. Getting the load numbers, doing everything on the Qualcomm, backing up to the dock, backing into a parking space, making calls, GPS. Hell, I even messed around with the CB when he had one. Only just once though. It was just the one time. And then I got my own CB, as you saw in my earlier video today. So, after I got trained by Daniel, took another driving test, passed, and I got my own truck. So this was pretty much my true test. Can I do this alone? I had a big International ProStar, one with 2 bunks. I of course took the lower bunk, because why the hell not? And the guy that had the truck before me had a mattress, and the mattress was on the bottom bunk, so I moved the mattress to the top bunk so I could just have the bottom bunk all comfortable, all to myself, and all that jazz. And not too soon after I got into Osborne was when I made a crucial mistake in which I'll always remember, and it'll forever be a life lesson to me, was when I was given the wrong paperwork and I was going to the wrong place at the same time. Now, to make that story short, I was supposed to pick up a load from Alabama and go all the way to Maryland with this load. I punched everything in from the paper to the Qualcomm. Pretty much everything that needed to get punched in. Like the weight, how many pieces, so on and so forth, the bill, laden number, seal if there was one. And then get going. And then about 300 miles later, I get a phone call from my driver manager asking me what trailer I had. And then, of course, I tell him the trailer that I had off the paper. And then he tells me, "You got the wrong trailer, buddy." Now, I did tell him that on the paper, the paper said somewhere in Georgia. I can't remember where, but it was like a 30-minute drive from, no, not a 30-minute drive, a 3-hour drive from the place in Alabama to the place in Georgia. I told him about it, and he was like, just go to Maryland. We'll find out later. So like I said, 300 miles later, I get the phone call, and he tells me, go back to Alabama and get the other trailer. So I go back to Alabama, I get the other trailer, and that's when I get another phone call, and they tell me, do you still have the trailer that was supposed to go to that place in Georgia? No, I just picked up the one that was set for Maryland. Screw it, it's already late, we'll reschedule it, get the one that you already had, get the other bill, and then here I am freaking explaining everything to the shipper, and they're like, dude, make up your fucking mind already. Is it this paper or is it that paper? So I make a phone call and I'm like, are you sure you want me to pick up this one to Georgia? Yes, we're sure. Just pick it up. Pick it up. Went to deliver. And it was not a very pleasant day. And that is whenever something doesn't feel right on the paper, I go in, ask the shipper, tell them, hey, I'm supposed to be going to Maryland, not Georgia. Oh well, I missed out on a trip to Maryland. I don't think I've ever been to Maryland at this point. Would have been nice to go though. So, oh well. It's a nice little story. So anyways, I've worked for Osborne for, I want to say an entire year. Or almost an entire year. And then I got laid off in September. Or no, I got laid off in August. About 3 weeks later, in September, right after the 9/11 memorial ceremony or whatever, I see a Facebook ad. Or no, not a Facebook ad. I see someone posted a job on a Facebook page in which I was on. So I called the number and I asked them, hey, I'm interested about the job. Okay, well, it's drop and hook mostly. It's light. And you get paid 40-some cents a mile, which was way better than what I was working for Osborne. I started Osborne at around 30 cents a mile, And then I left Osborne at around 35, maybe. I want to say it was around 35. So, So the company I'm working for now is paying me about $600 a week, about, give or take, I think. Or at least that's pretty much what I've been seeing lately is $600 a week, which, you know, I'm really enjoying. So with paid benefits, paid stoppage, so on and so forth, all the good stuff. And this is probably the best company that I've worked for by far. So I go from driving a big ass International with 2 bunks to a 2014 Mac with the 1 bunk, and it's half broken to hell, but oh well. It's something you gotta just deal with, or not deal with it, and then just, you know, try to find someone better. But personally, I don't think I'll ever find anybody better than this job, to be honest, unless Amazon breaks a deal with me. I don't know. I happen to like my home time. So recently, well, no, not recently, probably ever since I started working for the company that I'm working for now, I've been looking at, you know, what should I do for the future? Should I go to somewhere like Walmart or Amazon? Should I stay with this company and then get my own truck, do a lease, or whatever? And everything that I'm thinking about doing is probably getting worse and worse. So, that's some good sweet tea. So right now, I am enjoying this job with this company that I'm working for. I'm very, very happy that this Facebook ad was shown to me by my dad. And I don't think I've ever been any more happier, to be honest, because I don't know, I've been getting a lot of great stuff with this company. I got my Xbox One because of this company. I got the majority of all my games because of this company. And now, come in a couple of weeks, I will be getting that fucking laptop that I've been wanting for the past year and a half because of this company. Now, I will say that maybe my laptop would have been in my lap much sooner if I did not go all haywire with my money at the beginning, because I was promised a $3,000 sign-on bonus, which I did get, but what I didn't realize was that it was going to come in intervals. So, oh well, it's a shame that they had to do that to me, so oh well, I'm not worried about it. I'm still slowly working my way to get to that point. So you know, yay. Other than that, I am more or less just celebrating pretty much every day or every time I get paid. Because $600 or $700 a week is a lot of money. And at the rate that I'm spending the money, I really should just stop. Because I've been trying to keep money in my banking, or in my savings account, I should say. Trying my fucking best, at least. And then recently I overdrafted somehow over $500 worth of money. So that's minus 500 from the 1,000 in which I got from the government because of the tax return and whatever. So, lesson learned, quit blowing my money. Simple. So, I will be getting this fucking laptop in the next couple of weeks, with help, courtesy from my dad, because he has agreed that he will pay some of the amount, so as long as I pay for most. So I've been slowly trying to gain $1,000, and I'll accomplish that either this week or next week, and then the week after next week I will most likely have 1,500 maybe, and then whatever, if I still can't afford it, then I'll just tell my dad I just need this much, and it'll be okay. It's pretty much that. So I'm working very hard to get this freaking money, and then the next big buy will most likely be my own personal vehicle. Now, I'm not sure about how I'm going to do it, but I'm thinking I might just put like $5,000 down or something. I don't know. I want to try to put $5,000 down, and if I can't get my dad to agree to pay, like, say, I don't know, another $5,000 down, then that's literally $10,000 down. And I fixed my credit after the trucking school fiasco, so I know my credit's good. I'm just dealing with frickin' Verizon right now, but they haven't messed up my credit much. Actually, I don't think they messed up my credit at all. So, anyways, Verizon is doing whatever, so T-Mobile, I'm fairly happy with T-Mobile. Connection's not that, connection is not that swell, but oh well, just gotta deal with it. And I have been dealing with it, just, gotta keep dealing with it, I suppose. Oh well. So, I'm going to go ahead and just call it quits for now. It's been quite a vlog. Talked a lot about my truck driving experience, and pretty much my plans for truck driving. Actually, no, because I don't really know what my plan is after all this is said and done. Because I don't know if I want to get my own truck or not. And I'm thinking, if I do, should I lease? I think if I do end up getting a truck, I will most likely lease, but I'm really not sure about it. Because then, of course, I need my own personal vehicle. So, whatever. Anyways, that's enough for me. Hope you enjoyed this long-ass vlog. I do apologize about the length of it, but talking a lot, so whatever. Anyways, that's enough for me for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I know I have. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys this weekend for a podcast or two, because I'm still wondering if I'm still going to be part of the Talk CDL podcast that I talked about earlier in the week. And then, of course, next week, or no, the week after E3, about the results and whatever. So other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I will see you guys next time.